My name is Sebastián Duarte and welcome to Face to Face. I repeat our baby's news. As I mentioned in the previous chapter, today we will talk about tourism, but I don't mean two perfect places to travel, rather the specific effects of tourism in countries like United States and Kenya. As you know, tourism is a very important resource for many cities, but we are not seeing which are the impacts that each event bring with it still. We can stand out environmental, social, and economic impact. Obviously, not everything is so bad. So, for that reason, by our special guests, we can see both sides of tourism. So, without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our kids.
Hi, I'm Sebastian Suarez, economical analyst. And in this case, I'm going to compare the negative and positive impact of tourists in New York and Kenya.
Hello, I'm Ivana Castel and I am an environmental expert and I'm going to talk about the situation of New York and Kenya.
Hello, I'm Xiomara. I'm a sociologist expert. I'm going to talk about the positive and negative impact in New York and Kenya of the tourists.
The positive social effects in New York, the improvement to infrastructure, and new leisure amenities result from tourism also benefits the local community. Tourism encourages the preservation of traditional customs, handicraft, and festivals that might otherwise have been allowed to wane, and it creates civic pride. Interchanges between host and guest create a better cultural understanding and can also help raise global awareness of issues such as poverty and human rights abuses. Negative social effects in New York. Visitors' behavior can have a detrimental effect on the quality of life of the host community. For example, crowding and congestion, drugs and alcohol problems, prostitution, and increased crime levels can occur. Tourism can even infringe on human rights, with locals being displaced from their land to make way for new hotels or bars from beaches. Interaction with tourists can also lead to an erosion of traditional culture and values. The positive social effects in Kenya. Cultural integration with Kenyans that speak English, better education, some speak fluent English, better water supply. Masai Mara tribe received community investment from revenue generated by the game park. Cultural integration. The negative social effects in Kenya is now protected, so animal migration routes are blocked. No longer living with harmony with nature because fences are constructed. Masai Mara tribe pushed out of land and shuttled at the edge of the Masai Reserve.
The economic impact of tourism in New York is that as any place in the world that like creates jobs, generates jobs. So poor people like low class people start working in this season and so they have the opportunity to raise their incomes. And some places that are affected by this kind of problem, or not problem, even this factor, that places for infrastructure, hospitals, schools, places like that. But after this good looking of the tourism, there's also like a shadow. So tourists create jobs, right? But these people that start working like this season, they are being exploited. So they're poorly paid and work harder for just a little money. Also, for examples, like something happens, like an accident or something that tourists have created. So these lay on the state, so they have to pay for the damage created by the tourists. In Kenya, tourism also creates jobs, and the economical situation is not the best one in this country. So the vacation season is a big chance to get money for some people. But here's the bad thing. The bad thing is that these are poorly paid, invisible, and seasonal employees, and the earned money goes to companies. And local jobs stay with the only pay that they get. But there's a positive after that. The money not goes only for companies, also goes for hospitals and schools that kind of countries like Kenya in this case needed.
These are the environmental positive effects. Well, tourism, particularly in nature and ecotourism, helps to promote conservation of wildlife and natural resources such as rainforest. As these are now regarded as tourism assets. Well, it also helps generate funding for maintaining animal preserves and marine parks through entrance charge and gate fees. By creating alternative sources of employment, tourism reduces problems such as overfishing and deforestation in developing nations. These are the environmental negative effects. Tourism possesses a threat to regions' natural and cultural resources, such as water supply, beaches, coral reefs, and heritage sites, through overroutes. It also causes increased pollution through traffic emissions, littering, increased sewage production, and noise. These are the environmental positive impacts of Kenya. Well, in Kenya, you can develop many activities, like to take pressure off safari areas, climbing, white water rafting, more distance safaris, diving of coral coves, hotels built in West, and measures to protect coral reef. Also, attempts made to preserve Maasai way of life, improve settled housing, controlled flow of visitors to traditional Maasai village to watch dancing and sell it off craft. Finally, Bamburi Nature Trail near Mambosa, all semi-quarry climate, no soil, plants, or wildlife. Trees planted instead introduced, transforming into tropical rainforest, wildlife, and tourist facilities added like 100 visitors per year. I'm going to explain the negative impacts of environmental tourism in Kenya. The first is the poorly paid, unreliable, and seasonal employment in menial jobs. Second, money goes to big companies, not to the local people. 3. Environmental polluted and natural environments spoiled. Boats dropping, anchors damaged coral, and people taking parts of coral reef. Wildlife destroyed by trucks, grown and damaged and eroded. 4th, conflicts between local tribes and Maasai Mara and Kenya government through the exploitation of local culture. And 5, local tribal people have been forced to change lifestyle to accommodate tourists. For example, Maasai people were driven off their land.
Oh, thank you so much for your opinion as well presented. On the other hand, as we have previously spoken, tourism was always been an important use For that reason, we need to have a firm government policies. So, as Ivan had mentioned, it was important to create an environment awareness in the tourists, and so what we had previously heard concerning to the tourism only present a logistical challenge always being brought. So, in conclusion, we had to change that mentality, and thank you so much. We see you in the next chapter. And of course, we had hoped them to talk about the dangers of the concrete jungle. See you next week. And this is Face to Face.